All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We love to have these last minute Zooms. So fun, right? In actuality, Darcy came to me with this idea. So this is all her genius right here. Came to me with the idea to do this call, which would be kind of showing you guys how to map out your rank up. Not just kind of, but like lay it all out there. And part of this would also include sharing our stories and a little bit about our journey along the way, just to kind of show you guys that you're not alone. Like, this was not smooth sailing, happy days 24/7 for us. Just to help provide some encouragement and that sense of community as you guys are looking to hit some big goals in the next 90 days. So with that, Darcy, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, absolutely everything that Jacqueline said. We were once in your shoes. We were once, the rank that you were at, trying to figure out, what's working, what's not working. How can I get my business to move forward? So we just kind of felt like sharing some tools that we use to map out our plan when we were ranking up may be helpful. Some of you guys may know this, some of you may not. So it might be old information, new information. We just thought it would be great, again, to get you all together. I think back when Jacqueline and I were ranking up, we did not have half the resources that we have today. Some of the time we were just winging it and just adding and talking to everyone and not, and I think as we got more experience, we realized, gosh, this works so much better when you dig into your back office and you look at your numbers and you look at your team and you think about who can I help on my team, and having an actual plan and knowing that it's not just I'm going to rank up this month. You really do need to set into plan. We think a 90-day kind of look forward, make a plan. And then you can really think about each month what you need. And then if that month it doesn't happen, we'll talk about that later, but you can, expand into the next month. So, I started like you as a silver ambassador. Actually, I went silver my second month and not my first month because I didn't know what I was doing. It was like adding customers, and then I kind of recognized, oh, you can make money. I maybe want to do this. How do I go silver? So my silver story is I went to family dinner and told my sister-in-law, you're doing this with me. Like, you're just doing this with me. I'm signing you up right here at family dinner. She was very skeptical, but my sister-in-law joined me. A close friend of mine that I lived in Charleston who didn't want the business, just wholesale. And then a mom friend at school saw a couple of my posts who had been dealing with IBS stuff, and she was interested. So I went silver and I was excited. And then I think I really started thinking about numbers more when I started going to gold. So there's no right or wrong way to rank up, you guys. We are here just to guide you with some tips. It's really up to you. It's up to you to, I guess, to decide that you want to put in the activity it takes. And the things I want you to think about are, how many people it takes to talk to. Like, think about the activity that you're doing right now and think about how many people have you talked to in a month? How many people does it take talking to get sign up? I feel like when I talk to around 50 people, maybe 5 to 7, 10 of them might sign up. I think that's about the ratio, right? Like, so what I'm trying to say is you got to talk to a lot of people. This business is not difficult. It's can be out of your comfort zone, but it's really about loving and connecting and talking to people, messaging, going on play dates, getting out to museums with your kids, getting out to the library. Like, I use my kids a lot, you guys, because they help me connect to other moms, right? So I think thinking about what is this going to look like if I want to rank up, thinking about the activity I'm currently doing, what do I need to shift gears and change?
Can I interject real quick? Because I love all of that. And I love how you were talking about getting out there and doing things. I don't know if you guys are like me. I'm an extrovert, so I love being around people, but sometimes I'm like extroverted out and I want to sit and I want to watch 3 hours of Netflix. And I might get an invitation to something and really my bed and pajamas sound a lot better. But one of the things that was told to me was, as you're building this business, you don't turn down invitations. You go, even if it sounds like something you're a little intimidated to go to. Maybe it's another network marketing party. Maybe it's, just people you don't know all that well. That's perfect. It's so intimidating, and it would be easier to stay at home, but easy isn't going to get you where you want to be. So we've got to be thinking about what we can do to continue to build our network, because we'll hear that as an excuse from a lot of people, or people will start to feel like, I've talked to everybody I know. They're either customers, they've tried it, they're not willing to try it, or they ignore me, whatever. Well, that's going to happen. You have to continually be working to expand and be meeting new people. And your kids, if you've got them, are a great way to do that. If not, then your fur babies, taking them to the dog park, or you can take them in the stores and everywhere around here. Do those things, get out, find ways to meet people. So that's going to be a huge, huge piece you've got to be committed to.
Yep, I completely agree, because it is about network marketing. It is about networking. And like Jacqueline said, I'm also an extrovert, but the first year I went to Hawaii and met all walks of life as jewels, I recognized you do not need to be an extrovert to do this business. You can be an introvert, and like Jacqueline said, you do have to accept those invitations to go. Whether you're uncomfortable or not, if you do want to grow, that's part of, like, I think no matter what personality type you are, what strengths and gifts you have to grow your weaknesses as well. You have to be well-rounded. So there are areas that were uncomfortable for Jacqueline and I, and we had to work at those areas. One of my biggest work, you guys, is closing my mouth as an extrovert. I want to tell everybody everything all the time, and my strong point is not listening. So that is something I've really had to work on in my head. Bite your tongue, bite your tongue, bite your tongue. So we all have our strengths. It may be for you that you need to talk more, and you've got to work on those things. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know, Jacqueline, what else can we add? I think
One thing that I too want to share about my silver journey, it wasn't an instant thing for me. I wasn't, super quick. I think it was in my second month that I hit silver, and my sister was my first ambassador, and then 2 friends jumped on, and it was awesome and exciting because I was not planning on working this business. But it also was just kind of like, things just kind of happened. Like, I really didn't have direction. I really didn't know like what to say to people. I really didn't know, like, I didn't realize at the time that I was signing with 99 welcome packs that they had to have 100 PV. Like, I just didn't understand anything. And I was just sharing. And that was okay. Like, it wasn't perfect, but I was learning along the way. So it wasn't instant for me at all to go silver. But then I kind of caught this fire. And that's when I was like, well, I've got to kind of figure things out. And one of the things that Darcy mentioned was being really proficient in your virtual office. And if that is a weakness of yours, you can't let that continue to be a weakness of yours. We talked about showing you guys how we look at our virtual offices, but that's a little tricky just because we don't want people's information to be compromised, sharing what you guys have in our back offices. So what I would suggest to you, if that's an area you don't feel like you have down just yet, schedule a call with your sponsor, or if your sponsor's inactive, your next upline, whatever, and hop on a Zoom where they can kind of show you how they comb through, or you can pull up your virtual office and they can show you how they would sort through things, what they'd take a look at, and really help walk you through that. If you think you've got it, but you're not 100% sure, I would still schedule that so that you have that down, because if you don't, ranking up is going to be even tougher than anything else. So we've got to have that down. So please write that down in your notes if that's something that you need to do. You need to schedule something with your sponsor or your next active upline to work through that. I think that's really important.
The other piece that I will tell you guys is also one of the most important parts of this business is your why. I know you've heard it. I'm sure you've heard it. But honestly, it can't just be, I want to make $500. That would be awesome for my family's finances. It has to be deeper than money. Money does not drive you. I mean, it's a wonderful addition, but it is not going to make you do the uncomfortable things. So if you are following along with the 20 tips for 2020 that some of the jewels have been doing, I know some of the pages, I've seen them being posted. Early on was Bridget Ryan talking about the 7 levels deep. You need to have a close friend, your spouse, your partner, somebody who you really feel completely open with. You need to have them ask you the why, but why is that? What would that do for you? The questions that she says in that video, 7 times, and your true internal make you cry why will come out. And that is truly at the end of the day what is going to drive you to do the uncomfortable things and make that fire. I mean, you are your own CEO, you guys. This business is something like nothing you've ever been a part of before, where you are completely in control. You want a bigger income in 3 months, you're in control to do it. No other job can you demand a raise and have the things happen that you want, like this company and network marketing. So you are in the control. You can decide you want to go gold, but you have to put the activity in. You have to make the plan, tell someone you're going to do it, and put your feet to the fire and decide. Like there were months where it was the last week of the month and I had not enrolled my plan of however many I wanted to enroll. And I was busting my butt every night because the end of the month was going to mean I was going to have those 2 more people or whatever my goal was. Just, you got to let go of excuses and just be fueled up. So I think finding a power partner, finding somebody sidelines that you can rally with that's maybe pushing the same rank as you, share your why with them, become their little like buddy, really helps too. Finding like a power partner, and they may change throughout time, but finding somebody to run with that knows your why and can check in with you, because it can't always be your sponsor. It's not always going to be your sponsor.
And it's not always going to be the person that you started running with at the beginning, because your life and your business are going to take different turns and your motivation is going to be in a different place. And so I'm looking through, as Darcy was talking, I was looking through who's on this call, and I'm just looking at like phenomenal people that are on here. Like, this is a great list of people to be like looking through as possible work partners, because these are the people that are on every call. These are the people that are doing the work. I'm looking at your faces right now, and you guys are like, you're it. So these are the people you need to be choosing from, not the people that are going to watch the recording. Watch the recording. Sorry if you're watching the recording.
Yeah, but you guys, I legit sent messages to other women who were maybe a little above me or inspired me. I sent message to them and said, hey, do you have a power partner? I'm looking for one. People who like weren't even on my team, who maybe I had just seen in the bigger team pages commenting on stuff, and I would go and like stalk them a little bit, and I'd send them a message like, and some said no, some said I actually have one, I'm sorry, I'm already running with some people. And I was like, that's fine. But I was really looking for people who inspired me, who seemed to be working at my pace, and I knew would kind of pull me, push me a little bit. So don't be afraid to message somebody on our team or another team and say, hey, do you have a power partner? I'm looking for one.
Yep, for sure. And that was a big thing for me. I was very motivated by the people that I was working with, that I'm still working with. And I found people that had strengths that I didn't have. I had my ingredient gurus and my science nerds, the areas that I struggled in that I could go to kind of help. And then I had other strengths that they would utilize me for. So, we kind of had there was a big group of us that worked together. So find that. And if you're struggling to find that, you're not really sure, reach out to your sponsor or your sponsor's sponsor and see if they have any suggestions for you. But take a look at the faces on this call, because there are some great options for you probably here.
Absolutely. Yep. I mean, before we get into our worksheets to guide you, I think consistency is a big part of this. It is making a plan, mapping out your week ahead of time. Sunday night, I was a teacher, so Sunday night seemed to work for me. But thinking about, when am I going to work? Throughout my week, when am I going to fit in my hour or two of sit down, focused IPA time? You can fit it in, so don't use time as an excuse. And then really thinking about too, what does your activity look like in that hour? If it's scrolling Facebook and thinking about your fantastic post, that's not going to bring in the money, you guys. It's not. So really think about, if you're not moving forward and people aren't new coming into your business, what do you need to shift? What do you need to change? I got stuck for a long time swirling around the same like 20 or 30 people, like following up with the same people, wanting them. And it wasn't bringing, I got really stuck. My business froze until a light bulb went off one day when I watched a video or whatever. And it said, You have to be expanding your network and reaching out to new people, not the people you've talked to before, brand new, scary people. That's when my comfort zone grew, because those people were outside of my close network and were a little scarier for me. But you do not know who needs this. You just don't know. So I always think of it now as I'm about to bless somebody's life before I send those scary messages. So think about, am I hosting events, online events, in-person events for me, for my team? Even if you have 2 people on your team, you guys, you are a leader. You have a team. So ask them what they need. Don't be afraid to host events. We have those layouts. They're scary the first time you do them, and then you do one, and then it's good. Are you reaching out to new? Are you following up too? When somebody crickets you or whatever, follow up as a friend, and then follow up again with a 3-day trial or an invite to an event or something like that. So, really follow up. That was something I also realized you need to just keep loving on people and following up, and they do come around. Anything else?
I think that, again, if you're in a place where you find yourself sitting down to work and then you're kind of like, what do I do? There's a couple different things that you probably need to look at. You need to actually have something written out. If you are not, really diligent about getting the work done, you're going to feel like you're working all the time. If you have a specific list of things that you need to accomplish that are income producing activities, that's really going to help guide you. And if you need help with that, reach out to your sponsor. I've made a graphic maybe a year or 2 ago that has some really basic stuff that you can do every single day that will grow your business. You can just follow that, but you have to have something. You can't just be scrolling Facebook. The other thing too is you have to have a list. I really prefer a handwritten list. I don't know if I'm the only person here, but a handwritten list that you can be working from that is a work in progress where you are constantly adding new names to it, so that you have, that's like your to-do list, or reaching out and following up with these people. If you have not done that in a while, if you've lost your list, if you need to revamp it, you got to do it, because that will change things and you'll feel so empowered.
Yep, I would say that would be step number 1, you guys. If you are looking to rank up in 90 days, that would be number 1. Go through your Instagram, go through your Facebook, write down new people in your world, people you're meeting all the time. Yes, revamp your list of 100. I would say that's right on. Does anybody have any questions at this point or anything to add in? I know we have, again, a wealth of leadership and knowledge on this call too.
Nope.
Darcy.
Hmm.
Hi, it's Jenny. I really have dug into Facebook groups. So besides Plexus, I run a daycare. And so I'm in there, and I sent out 5 samples this week because somebody posted a picture in the morning with just like her feet sitting on the floor and said, am I just getting burned out? Should I try something new? Or do the rest of you like find times in the day where you're just exhausted? And like so many providers talked about being exhausted in that thread. But I've been really intentional to give advice and post pictures that we're doing at my daycare of crafts and things like that. So I'm adding value in that page because I've done the Facebook group thing before, but not to the point that I am now. Like I intentionally go in there every single day, and I sent out 5 samples this week to daycare providers. So being intentional in Facebook groups has been really awesome for me.
Good. And that's perfect. And you found a group that you can like totally relate to. You're not like trying really, I mean, this is like people that are going through what you're going through. I don't know how you do what you do, by the way. And then adding the value, that's perfect, and building those relationships. Facebook groups are huge, huge ways to build your business and grow your network. But the key is finding the right one. So Jenny's done that. She's found a group that is perfect for her. And I think this is something you can do periodically, where you reevaluate where you are in your life. Or, you just take a look at things like, mom of 3, if you have 3 kids now, or mom of a preschooler, or vacationing to Canada, or whatever you might be, finding these groups that are going to be applicable, and things are going to change about every 6 months. You can kind of reevaluate and be like, okay, what groups might I be a part of? Maybe you're renovating a house, find those home renovation groups. find those groups that are going to be applicable to you and really be in there. And yeah, it's great. Make it part of your IPA. Add it to the list where you just get in there, you add some value, you make some connections, and maybe make some notes of some people that you see as people that you'd love to have on your team. Add them to your list so you can really work to relationship build with them. I think that's great.
Okay, are we ready to get out of the nitty gritty and make a plan?
Do you guys want to see the document we have? Is that why you're all here? You didn't want to hear us talk. You wanted to just see what we put together. Okay.
I
Darcy
did
was,
upload it to people on my team. It's in Pink Drink link in the files area under 90-day rank up 2020 if you want to see it when we're done.
Ours isn't there yet, but I will have it there, guys, from my team. Okay. So can everybody see? I'm sharing my screen right now. You guys all see it? Okay. So it is really basic, but we did that intentionally because whether you're trying to go gold, senior ruby, sapphire, whatever you're looking at, you have to get down to the basics and you really have to get down to the numbers because this really is a relationship business, but it's a numbers game, okay? So writing out what your goal is huge. Having this somewhere, on a piece of paper, up on sticky notes, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. It's going to be big. So your next big goal, okay? What is that? Write it down. I want you to print these off. I know, I love when you're done with it, you can recycle it. But printing things off, there's something about that hard copy, okay? There's something about having it right there in front of you. I'm a huge fan of that. And you cannot use the fact that you don't have a printer in your home as an excuse. Send it off to UPS, send it off to FedEx, any of those places. They can even mail it to you if you live out in the boonies, but get it printed off. Or make your own copy if you really need to, write it out. Your goal, okay? What is your next rank? We need to know where we're coming from though. Where do we need to know how the roadmap is gonna look, right? We need to know where our starting point is and where our ending point is. So what were your last month's points? That is your ending point, okay? That's gonna give you an idea of where you're headed. We need to be looking at what our team is doing as a unit as far as ads go, okay? This is the key to ranking up essentially, right? Having people add new ambassadors. So we are recording here how many team ads we had last month, then personal ads. We really all need to be committing to 3 a month. We really, really do at the minimum, but we'll kind of talk about what this might look like for you. Maybe you don't have an active team right now. That's okay. Maybe you're the only one adding. That's okay. We can still make this happen because your new people, you can train them to add 3 people themselves, right? So whatever you've got going, we just need to have that map. We need to have a clear picture of what your team looks like right now so that you know what you need to do to make things happen, okay? So breaking it down really simply, I need this amount of points to rank to this rank, okay? So let's say that your next rank is gold. You are looking to hit gold. That is 100 points, right? We want to make sure that we are overshooting because we have this little thing called people kind of falling off every once in a while, right? Not everybody sticks around that we sign. So we like to overshoot what we're looking for, and we're going to just kind of work with that 10%. So really we're going to be shooting for, if we're looking at gold, 110 points, okay? Giving ourselves a safety net, and that's a minimum. It might be 10 to 20% that you're looking at, kind of depending on the rank. We need to break down some things like, and we may want to change the verbiage on this, white lines, but your white lines are your people that are no longer ordering, okay? Having an idea of the number there, because although it's difficult to raise people from the dead, it can be done. And especially as we have new incentives, we have new products coming out, letting people know about the perks program. You'd never know when people have new financial situations arise where they may be more inclined to work the business again. We just need to know, how many people do we have that are no longer ordering anything at all, okay? Then let's also make sure that we're making note of those people that are from 1 to 99 PV. Okay, those ones that like break our hearts, right? These are the ones we really need to be having those tough conversations with about the perks program. That's not a tough one, that's a fun one. We need to have these conversations with all these people. I think that we also need to make sure at this point, and this is controversial, but my personal opinion is revisiting when they are coming close on their renewal, these people that are under 100 PV, and talking to them about, there's going to be $40 charge to your card. I noticed that all you're ordering is, I have several of them that just order per way. That really doesn't make sense for you. Let's have you, downgrade to customer where you can still enjoy savings. I think this is a smart move just because a lot of these people aren't ever willing to get to that 100 point, and it's not doing them any good. It's not doing you any good, and it just doesn't make sense, okay? They can downgrade to customer. That will bump your PV probably slightly because they're not ordering a ton. And then you can always revisit 6 months down the road and have them re-sign up as an ambassador if they reevaluate and think that that might be something they're ready to do. But that's sometimes a tough conversation, but I feel like too often what I find is that people are ignoring that conversation. So anyway, I kind of went off on a tangent, but putting that down there. Darcy, anything that you want to add? I know I'm like.
No, you're doing great. No, you're absolutely right with everything.
Okay, so let's, from there, we're going to take a look at how many people do we think we can get back on board that were our white lines. They've completely stopped ordering. How many people can we reactivate? Okay, so kind of look through that list of people. And if you're new and you don't have a ton, maybe it's 0. Okay, that's okay. If it's one person, that's still huge. That can make a major difference. What about your people that are under 100 PV? What goals? How many of those can you get? What is your goal to get those people jumping up to that 100 PV mark? Okay, so just kind of, this is going to take some combing through your back office, and that's the point of this. That's what we want you to do. We want you looking through and seeing who you've got, where they're at, what can be done. So we need to kind of look at new joins next, right? And this month's a little different because we have those $99 welcome packs counting for points, but we don't know if that's always going to be the case, okay? So we are just gonna say $99 welcome packs plus 100 PV, or your $199 welcome packs, because those will all be worth points regardless, okay? So how many do we have of those coming in, okay? Or how many is our goal? From there, we just need to know how many people do we need? What is the magic number of people that we are going to get to our 110 points, not 100 points, at least 110. Remember, that's either going to be your 99 welcome pack plus 100 PV. It's going to be your 199 welcome pack, or it's going to be your people that you get to go from that under 100 PV to jump up to 100 PV. So just kind of looking through, this is just going to force you to comb through your back office, and you can kind of look at where these points are going to come from. So getting some names down, what are their goals? And this, again, Darcy mentioned this shouldn't be all about you. This should be about you and your team. It is so much more fun to do this with your team. If you're looking to rank up gold, it's so much more fun to do that as you have team members ranking up to silver, working together. So taking a look at where your points are going to come from and what their rank's going to be, and knowing what motivates your people. What's motivating this team or this leader? Kind of have an idea of that. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. You guys knew that was coming. Okay, Darce, do you want to talk about this one here?
Yeah, and I mean, as we created these documents, like some of them are redundant, but some of them, it's sometimes good to think about it multiple ways, think about it multiple times. So this is kind of just like a brain dump page where you kind of have space, you just want to write some stuff out, really thinking about how you can make all of this, how you're going to make all this happen. How many points will I need? Who can I help to go silver? Kind of just like your plan. And it can be a visual, you can do it on the back if you want, you can draw it out, however you need to make your plan. We just wanted to give you some lines and some space to do that. And redo it, like So anyway, go through all your numbers, think about who you can rank up, how many they're going to sponsor, how many you're going to get back, all that information, kind of make a plan, add the numbers to it. Sometimes I used to even put my 110 at the top, and I would almost list people's names, you know, down through. I don't know if you want me to talk about Post-its, Jacqueline, or
Yeah, I think this is the perfect time to do that. Because
we
Darcy
both
and I both
use
use
these.
them.
We laughed. Yeah, that we both use these. So when I was going gold, I literally had Post-its up on my wall. You can have in your bedroom, in your bathroom, in your office, you know, wherever you're kind of setting up to do your work. I know some people even have closet offices. So wherever you're sitting down to do your work, on your desk, we actually stuck out the 22 people it was going to take to go gold. So people who were already ordering, who'd already joined from the month before, their names were already on a sticky note. As they ordered 100 PV, I would actually write their name. I would not put their name on a sticky note until they ordered their 100 PV and they actually counted for my 5 points. So hopefully you all know, I'm seeing some questions about, is this for all levels? Yes, we get paid, I believe, I guess as you rank up, different levels get unlocked, but for most of you, you're going to probably be, if you're pushing for gold, senior gold, in your levels 1 through 4, maybe some level 5s, depending on how deep you are. So know how many points people are worth too. That's important as you go past level 3. But so this page is really for you just to think about and then redo. So with the sticky notes, lay out your 22, put their names on, and then you really can see as the month progresses how many people you actually need. It's very, very hands-on. It's very visual. And it's not just your people, you guys, right? It's other people on your team. If they're going to go silver, sometimes I would even put that person's initials in the top of one of my sticky notes. If I knew, like, Jacqueline's on my team and she said her goal is to add 3 as well, I would put her initials in the top of 3 of them, hoping that those 3 would come from her team. So then you really can map out, you know, where it's all coming from. So hopefully that makes sense. Write it out, and then if you need to redo it with the next month, if you're doing this for 90 days, 1 month goes by and maybe you didn't hit your maybe your goal was 5 new ambassadors or 6 new ambassadors and that didn't happen. You need to roll over. Maybe you signed 4, your team signed 4. Those 2 that you really were counting on in the first month, those 2 need to be added to your next month. So you might need to adjust your goal, adjust your plan if things didn't happen in the month you were expecting. It doesn't mean you cannot not still hit your goal. It just means a slight adjustment. You just move those numbers over, and it means you need to reach out to more people that second month because it's a numbers game to find those extra 2. All right. Hopefully that makes sense.
And I love that this can be, we would like for you to have some sort of a visual. So whatever works for you. If that is just writing something on a piece of paper or using a whiteboard, whatever it might be, but to having some sort of a visual. Sticky notes, I just really like. I don't know, there's something about them that makes them moving things around and adding things, and it's really workable. So I suggest that. I suggest you invest in some sticky notes.
Okay. And this is much the same too. Yeah.
Yes, it is. So again, you know the key, hopefully you know the key by now, is having silvers on your team, helping people go silver, because everyone knows 3 people. Everyone. And it's just helping them to see that vision of going silver. And for some people, it might just take a reworking of your wording. For some people, it might be more like using the words, you have this referral link. And if you get 3 people to use your referral link and join as wholesalers, you actually get money towards your next month's order. That a lot of times can work really well for people. Then once people are getting money in the bank, then they're asking questions about the business, and then you don't have to use that wording. We're tricking people into making money. It's a great way to trick people, right? I'd be okay with that. But just use it, rewording it. Sometimes when we say you can rank up, you can get a promotion, that sounds a little scary to people. But if they have a referral link that they just share with people so that they can enjoy wholesale pricing, it's less intimidating. So maybe think about reworking the way that you're sharing this with people. And this can also be done if you want to go back to people that jumped on and they were not about building a business and you didn't use that wording before. Maybe it's one of those things where you're reaching back out, and it could have been a while that they joined you, and you just want to maybe reach out and make sure that they understand the perks program. The perks program is the perfect excuse to reach out to somebody that you've got on your team, making sure they understand it. They don't even have to show up on your perks report as looking like they're going to forfeit any perks. We want to make sure that our people are able to use it. So this is a great reason to reach out to people. And it's a great reason to revisit that whole idea of them building a business. Again, it can be done by just saying, you have this referral link. Have you ever thought about sharing this referral link with others so that you can get money towards your products? Simple as that. Okay.
Sorry, Jacqueline, and letting them know we're running these 3-day trial groups with these amazing boxes 2 times a month now. And so that's another thing that you now could mention, like how easy it is to share with a family or friend. You're feeling amazing. I would love to have you find an accountability partner. I always reference Weight Watchers. Like Weight Watchers has a buddy system because having accountability partner helps you stick to your health goals. We could invite someone to try a trial box and join our trial group in your friends and family. Who do you know who maybe would want to try it with you? We, get them to buy a box and join our group. That's super fun. They might win a prize. So I think also letting them know that that's kind of also reach out, letting them know this is a new thing we're doing. We have these trial groups. I mean, it's not really new, but you could let them know. We have these trial groups and getting them to refer people in that manner too, because that seems so less intimidating to let a friend know we have a trial box, you could try it. So anyway, just want to say that too. Trial boxes are great.
Yeah, no, I think that that's great. And it is a new thing we're doing because we haven't, those challenge boxes I still consider new. And the fact that our team is doing this on a regular basis is now new. This is something we can always count on. Our new people can always count on, unless they're from Australia, as I've learned. That's such a bummer.
Canada doesn't have them either yet. Canada doesn't have they have trials, but they don't have trial boxes yet. So let's hope they're coming.
I'm sorry, friends. I'm sorry.
I know.
But you have a really good probiotic, Canada.
Yes.
Oh, buddy. This is good stuff. Okay. Darcy and I were talking, and we really love this next part. And we really want you to include this in your plans. How are you going to celebrate? Because when you achieve this rank that you are looking to achieve, it's a big deal. And one of the things that we've heard from some of our diamond friends are some stories of what they were going to treat themselves with in their early stages. For example, Bridget Ryan, her big thing once she went silver was she was going to take that $100 bonus and take her big old family out for pizza to celebrate. That was what her plan. And that's so cute. That's so cool. Jessica Heffley's thing was she'd never had a North Face jacket. So when she hit the rank, I think it was gold, she's going to buy herself a North Face jacket. It's so funny to look at that and now where they're at. But these things are huge. And, whether it's treating yourself for all of your hard work, or treating your family, your shareholders, have some sort of a plan. Include this in your plan. How are you going to celebrate? What would make sense for you and your family? And then really want you to feel what it's going to feel like to hit that rank. So make sure that you're writing this down. I think that this page is really, really important. The next part is just basically sharing some ideas on how you can help support your team. Keeping track of where your team members end each month. I think it's a good idea to, depending on how large your team is, if you're in that senior gold to senior ruby area or senior gold and up, you have a pretty large team. So maybe you're focusing on your level 1s and all of your silver and above or whatever, but tracking where your people end each month so that you can celebrate their victories, as they're adding on points. You're taking a look at who could possibly rank up, who could possibly re-rank any level, okay? And it makes a big difference when you message them and encourage them. So if you know where somebody ended last month, sending them a message early on in the month and just saying, hey, I saw that you ended last month with 85 points. That is huge. You are so close to a gold rank up, and I know you can do it. Ask them how you can support them. What can I do to help you? And maybe they've never had a launch party. It's never too late for a launch party. Super easy to do online. Setting up a group, reach out to your sponsor for help if you need that. whatever it might be, but help those people get there. Recognize what they're doing, their efforts, and how close they are, because sometimes that's all it takes. They just need that little nudge, that little gentle encouragement to really amp them up and say, yeah, I can go gold this month. I am going to go gold this month. It can make a huge, huge difference. And then, yeah, congratulating them on a great month. Ask what you can do to support them. If you have people that are really receptive to your reaching out, keep a list of those people. And I would be looking at their numbers very regularly, just to see how things are moving along for them. Keeping an eye on their back office and maybe with them too, like if they have a credit card decline, like working through that. If they have somebody turn off their subscription, working through that with the perks report, really keeping a close eye on those people and really working side by side with them is going to be a huge deal. Darce, anything you want to add there?
No, not at all. And like Jacqueline said, if you are not accessing all the tools in your virtual office, please let your sponsor know. So quick tip, you can go into your virtual office, click on your points, and you can actually see months previous. So you can, hopefully everyone on here knows this, but sometimes I talk to people and they don't. You can click on January, and then all of those tabs across the top that have people's names, their enrollment date, their PV, all that stuff, team points is way over on the right. If you click on any of those, I think it's click once, maybe click twice, it does it from highest to lowest. It will stack your list, and you can see everybody's team points from the highest person on your team to the last. So there are in their PV you can see. So I don't know if you all know that. Sometimes people don't, but get in there and get into your virtual office and play around and click and see. You can look at subscriptions. It's really awesome. Does anybody have any questions? I think I saw a few in the comments. Maybe I didn't. All levels, 1 through 3 is all levels. Yep, Abigail, all levels. Does downgrading require them to call customer service, or can they do that from their account? Isn't there a form, Jacqueline, they can fill out?
There is a form. Yeah, I did a whole, it should be on YouTube, a whole video on this. There is a form, and it should be in your virtual office that you can send it to them, because it's a link. It's just a link that they can click on. They will need to know their ambassador ID number. So I always like to just send the link and their ambassador ID to them, because they'll know everything else. And then there is a portion where they can either just completely cancel, or they can downgrade to customer. And I always tell them, I even have like a set message that I send, and I think it's in that video. If you go to my YouTube channel, that is just like, you'll still enjoy savings off of the retail price. You're just not going to have to pay that enrollment fee. And it's okay to say, like, I'm building a business, and I've so appreciated your support. However, it does nothing for me when you're not at 100 PV, and I don't want you to waste $40 if you're not going to benefit from the savings. So you can share both sides of that, because a lot of times people join to help you out or to, like, be a good friend, but they don't really realize, that it's not helpful that they're ordering ProBio 5 as a customer. Or as an ambassador, sorry.
And it will add to your PV, which is also awesome.
Yep.
And really, after the third month as a preferred customer, sometimes people don't realize this, after the third month, that fourth order is wholesale prices anyway as preferred customer. So you can explain that to them as well. They're going to save that in that $40.
I really think that that's a valuable thing. And I don't think you necessarily even just have to do that with your level ones. Like, you can look on down, especially, maybe I'm the only one that has ambassadors ordering ProBio 5 only, but even if they're my level 4, I'm going to reach out, because they should not be paying $40 to do that. It's not fair to them. And a lot of times they just don't even know any better. They love their ProBio 5 and they want to take it, and that's fabulous, but they don't know any better. So don't shy away, if they're not your level 1, from you reaching out, especially if it's something like that. Plenty of us have those, slim orders. That's all they're ordering every single month. So, my first suggestion would be to try to get them as a customer. They're not willing to do that. My next suggestion that is beneficial for them, beneficial for you, is for them to double order every other month. And I think I feel like that's one of those things that a lot of people think is scary, and so they shy away from. but really it's a situation that's best for everybody. It's better for them too. So that would be another thing that I would suggest doing in your virtual office, going through that stuff.
Any other questions?
Yep. I love that. I love what Abby's saying. Yeah, it is. That's perfect. Yes, you guys should just copy this right here. Part of my job is to make sure people choose the path that's best for them. Sounds like you're not ready to commit to wholesale right now, and the preferred customer would be a better fit for you based on how you order. You can't unlock the benefits of a wholesale account unless you're 100 PV, so preferred customer would make more sense for you. Dude, I'm copying that one. That's better than anything I love. You're gonna get your pontoon boat before you know it, girl. And then you're gonna have to play the pontoon song on your pontoon boat.
I think at the end of the day, guys, you just have to decide. You just have to decide and believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself that it will happen. And I swear, when I would like set my mind and it seemed impossible and it seemed like it was so many numbers and it was maybe like how could, like, I couldn't imagine how I could get there. I'm telling you, there is something about like juju energy and universal, like when you put it out there, like the universe responds. When you commit and you pump up your positive music and you say your positive affirmations in the morning, because mindset is a daily practice, you guys. Don't just read a book and be like, I'm good. No. Jacqueline and I are still every day working on our mindset, every day. So whatever you do to get yourself pumped up, you just have to believe, like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm just doing this. Yes. yes.
These are like all I'm in the middle of. Books. Always. You better have some books. You better get some books.
Yes. And just grow yourself, right? You'll grow into that person. You will. You just have to trust the journey and trust in yourself and just believe that you can do it, because you can. You're here. You just showed up to this call, and that's the first step, you guys. You're investing in yourself.
Absolutely.
We all love you. We love you. Anything else you guys need from us tonight? Any other wins anybody wants to share? Because that's always fun. Okay.
Thank you guys for being on. We believe in you, and we are excited for the promotions that we're going to be seeing in the next 30, 60, 90 days and beyond. I will make sure that I get that document on the team page and print it off, use it, and believe in yourselves. We are a part of the best business model there is, and hands down the best company, because it's got all of you guys a part of it. So thanks for being you. Thanks for being here, and have a good night, guys.
Find some power partners. Look around this call and find some power partners. Message each other. Yep. Okay. Love you.